Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel. And in today's video I'm going to be trying something different out because I'm going to do a mini review. And today I'm going to be taking a look at this Bachmann Class 47. Now this video is going to be a bit of an experiment because I've never done a mini review before, and so I thought I'd have a go at it. And also it's an excuse to do a video on this loco because this is a new loco that's just turned up in the post, and so it gives me an excuse to do a video on it. And so I thought I'd have a go at doing a mini review because I've already done reviews on Class 47s before. So instead of spending ages doing a big review like I normally do, I'm just going to have a go at doing a mini review. And if this goes down well, then I shall do more mini review videos in the future. So in the box we get all the paperwork. We have the Collector Club leaflet to join the Bachmann Collectors Club. We also have the manual for the model, which I'm not going to spend too long looking at this and going through it because we've all seen it all before. And then we have the certificate, because this model is a limited edition, and this model is number 145 of only 512 produced, and this model was issued in 2010. So here is the Class 47 out of the box, and isn't she a beauty? I've been after a 47 in civil engineer's livery for a long time now, but I just couldn't get one before. I know Bachmann have done one recently, but that has DCC sound, and I don't have DCC, as you know, so I wanted to avoid buying a DCC sound fitted loco just to remove the sound chip to put a blanking plug in. I wanted a DCC ready version, but I just didn't seem to have much luck finding one until now. And when I bought this loco from, it was actually sold to me by the guy, the same bloke who sold me the Hartlepool Pipe Mill Class 37, which is an absolute gorgeous model, and so is this one. I will admit I had to glue one of the nameplates back on, but that's totally fine. It's in pristine condition. It is second hand because the detail parts that they supply you with this model have already been fitted, but I don't care because it saved me a job having to do it myself. But I absolutely love this model to bits. I've been after one of these 47s in this livery for a long time now, and now I finally fulfilled that. One thing I have noticed though with this model is that two of the screws that hold the body in place are actually missing. Now that doesn't really matter, that's not a biggie, because there are four other screws holding the body on. So it's enough to have the body fitting nice and tight on the chassis, so the body isn't loose. So it doesn't really matter as such, and I might be able to find some screws somewhere, because I have got some boxes with little screws in, so I might be able to find some and put some into the holes where the ones are missing. But it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Although one thing I will say with the Bachmann 47s is getting the bodies back on again, it really is a pig to do, because these parts here where the cabs are now, because they are a bit more fragile, because they're sort of clipped onto the chassis and they can bend down quite easily, and so getting the bodies back on again, it is a nightmare to do, as I've known in the past with doing these. And so thank goodness I'm not doing DCC. That's just one of the reasons why I won't go DCC, especially with these 47s, because if I have to be taking the body off to be dealing with decoders burning out, the last thing I want to do is trying to get the body back on again. because I do know that on these 47s they can be a bit of a pig to get back on again. So that's just something to be mindful of when you're buying one of these. But it is still a fantastic model regardless of that. So we do have some superb detail on this model. We have the separately fitted handrails, which have been painted white. As standard, this model has sprung buffers, and they are made of metal. As I've mentioned already, we've got all the buffer beam detail parts on the model, because this model is second hand, so they've already been fitted. That also includes the ETH connector, which on this model they also get it to stick on, and that's present. You've also got some really superb detail on the bogies, such as the axle boxes and the springs and the footsteps, and it really does look rather nice. There's also a driver in the cab interior. I mean, for granted, the cab interior is painted, although none of the controls are painted, but the seats are painted, and so is the driver, and it's a really nice bit of detail to have, in my opinion. The livery application on this model is stunning. You've got the correct colours, the black and the grey and the yellow. Very crisply done. There are no errors in the paintwork, it's all a very nice even coat. And we've also got the nameplates, the shed plaque and the BROO's plaque as well, which are etched and they've already been fitted. And they really do look superb, especially those BROO logos, the etched ones. Because given the chrome look on them, they really do add some bling to the model. And they really do look superb. This model also comes with working lights, as do all Bachmann 47s. The interior lights light up, and so do the head and tail lights. There is a switch underneath the battery box that allows you to turn off the cab interior lights and the tail lights, although I believe in this case the tail lights, it means both the head and the tail lights on either end of the loco. And I do quite like that feature. So it's nice that without having to fit a decoder to allow the functions to turn the lights off, all we have to do is pick the model up, turn it upside down, and just simply use the switches to turn the lights on or off to suit how we want it to. So it is quite a nice little feature, that. So all in all, the Bachmann Class 47 really does have some superb detail. It is a superb model to have. Although one thing I have noticed on this 47 and on some of the other variants of the Bachmann Class 47 would be the lights. They do seem to be slightly different in the sense of that on this end of the loco they're all painted black, but then on the other end they seem to be painted white with black paint around them. That's on the two lights on the front. I don't understand why that is the case with some of these Bachmann 47s, but it is a superb model, and it's just a joy to finally be able to own one in Civil Engineers livery, and a limited edition one as well. In fact, all but one of my 47s that I own, all 5 of them, all except one, are limited editions. And if you love 47s as much as I do, I think that this particular livery is a must to have. And I would certainly like to get a couple more 47s. I know Helgen are going to be bringing out a new 47 in 00 gauge, so that might be worth, perhaps, if it gets released in a livery I like, I might even consider getting one and maybe doing a comparison between that and the old Helgen model. So the running performance, as we've come to expect, is very smooth. And that is beautifully smooth, that is. No motors burning out or horrible grinding noises, or even any jerky movement. It runs exactly as it should, straight from the box. But it will need running in though. So for the loaded test run, appropriately, I've got the Civil Engineers 47 pulling the rake of Civil Engineers wagons. And this is exactly the sort of train that I would have seen when I was a lad. Because I used to see 47s, 31s, 56s, anything that carried in Civil Engineers really, a lot all the time. And so it's very appropriate that this loco is pulling the civil engineers wagons, and I am going to get some more of these wagons in this livery. So to be able to have something like that on the layout is just a pleasure. So overall then, the Bachmann Class 47 is a superb model, and I would recommend you get one. Or if you love them as much as I do, get several of them, because they really are great models. And it's going to see how they can compare to the competition when Helgen release their new Class 47 at some point. But that brings me on to the end of this mini review of the Bachmann Class 47. It has been something slightly different, but I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. And so I'm going to leave you now with some running shots of the Class 47 running around the layout with the engineer's rake. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Feel free to post a comment, and I'll see you again next time. But until then, take care.